Hello everyone, I am Buck WSR Weezer, putting the do into do-it-yourself. And we've got a do-it-yourself project here today that I've been looking forward to. If it would stop raining, wow, I'd have an easier time getting to it. But here we are. Our project does not include any of this stuff junking up my yard. Maybe those will be part of a video on another day, but let's open up the shed and bring out what we're doing here. No, not this guy. Oh, this guy. It is the Little Wonder Power Products blower. Yeah, this looks interesting. Now, this was delivered to me. The owner says that it will, I think he said it'll start but won't stay running. Wow. This looks great. So here it is with the Briggs engine. 91 date code, so this is going back to early 90s. Now, he told me he used it last year. My guess it's some carburetor issues going on. You know, these things sit all year long. You only use them in the fall, so maybe that carburetor is going to need a little bit of attention. Don't really know, but I'm looking forward to figuring it out. That tire's coming off the rim. We'll have to figure something out there. Do see a fair amount of dirt and oil and grease and stuff down there. But we're gonna check the oil, make sure it's got oil in there. You know, I don't know anything about the gasoline. Does have gas in there. I don't know if it's old. Probably should try some clean gas before getting too far into this. And all right, so let me get set up here and see what we can do in the amount of daylight that's left to us, provided it doesn't start raining again. All right, so I thought I would check the oil, and I'm glad I did. It was at least a half a quart low. So I added that, and I thought before I go any further, as long as it's got oil in it, why don't we try some starting fluid and see if it'll run on that or fire up. Now this is the control lever, slow, stop, slow, fast, and choke. It doesn't actually go up the choke. You have to choke it by hand right here. But what I'm gonna do is just shoot a little bit of starting fluid in there and see if it'll fire up at all. And we'll take it from there. So definitely need to move it off of stop. And let me see what we can get. Well, that's actually better than I expected. It obviously starts and runs. We primed it with the starting fluid. That's a useful trick. Possibly the owner isn't aware of that, or for whatever reason it didn't want to start in the natural fashion off the gasoline. So I think we're probably just looking at some basic maintenance, and maybe we can clean out that carburetor a little bit. It was surging a bit at low idle, so possibly we have some adjustments to do, but I don't think this is going to be a big deal at all. Little smoke coming out the muffler, that may go away after a bit, just hasn't run in a while. So let's do some maintenance and a little bit of fine tuning and see if we can get this baby working like it should. So let's see if we can get this tire to reinflate. I have some tricks for that, and I thought it might be easier if I just remove the wheel from the machine. It's got a snap ring. Can't find my snap ring pliers, at least ones that fit this, so I've got a small Allen wrench that might help me do this. Maybe a screwdriver of sorts. My biggest fear is having it shoot out and fly away on me, and I'll never find it out in this dirt. One of the tricks I like to try is to wrap a ratcheting tie strap and squeeze it around the tire to force it against the rim. This sometimes works, not always. We're going to give it a try. Even if it does work and I can inflate it, doesn't mean the tire's going to stay inflated. The tire's pretty old. It's probably as old as the machine is, from the early 90s. So, I mean, worst case scenario, if it doesn't work, we can put an inner tube in this. And if that doesn't work, you can just replace this whole wheel. Go down to Tractor Supply. This is a pretty standard setup and size. Okay. Okay, so then as it starts to inflate, I release the tie strap and put some more in there. So yeah, that's inflated. Will it stay inflated? We don't know. And while we're at it, we'll check the tire on the other side of the machine over there. Fill that. Maybe while I'm at it, I'll put some air in that wheelbarrow tire. All right, so that's good. That's done. I'm gonna put a little grease on this axle. The wheel has bearings and all, but it might be good for it to be lubricated on the axle itself as well. All right. See if I can get this snap ring back on. It could be a challenge since I don't have snap ring tool. At least not one that fits. There we go. Okay. Tire inflated and back on. Hopefully it'll hold air. So going to change out the spark plug. It's a Champion J19LM, and I notice this thing's not even tightened down in there. So it's gonna lose a little compression that way. And also, it looks like we got some moisture up here from it leaking a little bit. Alright, so we'll tighten that down. New plug. More securely tightened. Good to go. Alright, we're going to change the oil. I've got the machine slightly tilted towards the back, and I got my drain pan under there. Hopefully this will work out okay. Quite a bit of built up grease and oil down there, and dirt, maybe from previous oil changes. I don't really know. Let's see if we can get this plug off with a 7/16 wrench. Ouch. Okay. So there's a hole in the right below the plug. There's a hole in the frame of the machine through which the oil can fall, but I suspect it won't all neatly go through there, hence the tilting towards the back for the to start, and the oil pan under the whole thing. Yeah, it's tough to get your hand in there. But it's coming. Alright, so it's draining. Clean oil, everybody loves it. Let's get rid of that old and get some new in there. Yeah, taking a look at the old spark plug, I don't know if you can see it too well. It's significantly fouled up. Which makes me think that possibly our engine's running a bit rich. And I may try to adjust that. Just the main jet at the bottom of the carburetor when we fire it up. I also decided to get a new air cleaner, or air filter I should say. That came today, and a new pre-filter. The pre-filter on the other one was deteriorating, and so we got this is a Briggs & Stratton part number 393957. So we're going to install him again, and then we will I'm going to try and fire this baby up again. And adjust that carburetor. See how it runs. I've added clean oil. May change that oil yet again after running it for a bit, only because you can never get all of the old stuff out, and it came out so very dirty. There would be some value in just doing it twice. Alright, so let's give that a try. We're going to move it out here. See what we get here. Well, I think that's it for the little Wonder leaf blower. You saw it working pretty well. I think I've got the carburetor adjusted as good as it's going to get. You saw me clear this section of the yard, and off camera I used it over here, and it does a pretty nice job. So a couple of things to keep in mind if you've got a piece of equipment like this that only gets used like a couple of times a year or only one season of the year. It ends up sitting for quite a while, and therein lies some of the problem. So it's good to do regular maintenance and keep in mind a couple of tricks. The starting fluid is a great trick if it's been sitting. Another thing that I want to encourage you to do with your equipment is when you come to the end of the season and you know you're done using it for the rest of the year, shut off the fuel. There's a fuel shut off under the tank here. And then start up the machine and let it run until it uses up all the fuel remaining in the carburetor bowl. That will keep the machine from sitting all season with old stale ethanol gas in there that gums things up, because you really don't want that. So that's one trick to keep in mind before storing your equipment. And then we just did a few basic maintenance procedures on this, so I hope this video was interesting and helpful to you. And certainly always appreciate your feedback, your comments, and your questions below, and I look forward to seeing you on our next video. Bye-bye.